Hello, I want to share with you today Fiona's story. Fiona is a client of mine who was walking the fifth chakra path and had the fifth chakra energy code. This story fully illuminates how it is when we get caught up in the imbalanced, dysfunctional expression of trapped emotional energy and unaddressed mental patterns that arise as a consequence of trauma. During this storyline, you will see that I use my light method, Life Guides Integrated Transformative Experience, which is really simple yet extremely potent in a way that can talk to the subconscious mind body and fully illuminate imbalanced illusions and misperceptions that were created at a time of trauma, but are still believed and still creating through the back door the things that we don't want. And also, it illuminates and releases trapped emotional energy that sits stuck in our chakra system until we come with awareness and compassion and breath to really start to release it. So I hope that you enjoy this story. And if it isn't your path or your energetic code, or it doesn't resonate for you as something that you struggle with, you may recognize someone that you know or someone that you love that may be struggling with similar issues and challenges. And I encourage you, if that's the case, to pass this video along to those people so that they can see and maybe gain some faith or some hope that there can be resolution and positive choices that can be made to relieve suffering from this energetic code. I hope that you enjoy. Namaste. Thank you. Fiona's fifth chakra journey on the light blue path of freedom of expression. Fiona was constantly struggling to find the balance between being overly controlling and being overly surrendered to the point of passivity. She'd recently been given the diagnosis of throat polyps that were precancerous, and she wanted to get to the root of the problem. She had opened up to alternate options since the path of conventional medicine had run her into the dead end of the doctors believing there was nothing more they could do to help her in understanding how this could be related to her spiritual and emotional health. Her research into the alternative options had led her to my door. She arrived in a distressed state, dismayed by the possibility that she may actually be causing or contributing to the cause of her problem herself. She'd read some books that talked about taking personal responsibility for our health and discovered that there may be some responsibility or choices that she was making, either consciously or unconsciously, that may be contributing to her condition. This information seemed to throw her further off balance and contributed to her plummeting into a contracted, stagnant, fearful state about her future health. I just want to say here that a real benefit of expanding into our personal responsibility for our health is to be empowered into knowing how to master our mind and our emotions. Fiona is a hard-working, moderately successful mother of 2 grown sons who owns her own retail business. She devotes herself to her work and her family, yet found herself in a marriage that she felt had run its course and lost all its passion, and a job that was fulfilling someone else's dream and not her own. She did not know at this point what her dream was. She felt that she was living a lie somehow, living someone else's life, someone she was supposed to be, not truly herself. She was feeling alienated and disconnected from herself. She was bored and wanted some excitement in her life. She had met a man that she was attracted to who had visited her store looking for a gift for his girlfriend. She'd been thinking about him a lot and discovered he had recently broken up with his girlfriend, and so she started to pursue him. Her commitment to spicing up her life had become the priority, and she was not acting correctly. She had thoroughly justified her behavior by victimizing herself to the degree that she felt she might as well have a good time now, since she probably didn't have that much time left anyway. Fiona was on a spiritual path and interested in participating in her practices, but she was not really clearly looking at herself and how she may be doing things and making choices that led her into this ethical problem, causing her to dislike and then disconnect from herself. We very often find ways to justify our unethical choices to avoid the full responsibility it requires to make right and appropriate choices, which very often means not having the immediate gratification of the thing we want. We forget the inevitable truth that every choice has a cost and a benefit. If we focus on the benefit in the short term without weighing the cost in the long term, we will set ourselves up for difficulty later. We often fall into a convenient but unwise and costly slumber that at some point we need to be awakened from. We also enter into the mysterious territory of self-punishment and find many excessive and diabolical punishments for ourselves that very often outweigh the crime. These punishments very often take the form of self-defeating and sabotaging behaviors that act against the intentions we set for ourselves. Our happiness resides in our ability to make choices and take actions that are consistent with our values. And anytime we take actions opposed to that is depleting our potential for happiness. Fiona had struggled with her relationship with her mother all her life. She had been narcissistic and controlling all her life. This had pushed her to leaving her native Norway at the age of 17. She had never really confronted and resolved the effects of that relationship, nor had she really examined or dismantled the personality structure that she developed in order to survive her childhood. During the course of her formative years, she had created a false, pleasing, accommodating personality style that her mother approved of that allowed her to get her needs met at the cost of her connection to her own authenticity. After she arrived in the United States, she felt liberated from the constriction of her mother constantly getting her own needs met from the relationship, only to bump up against the opposite, equally debilitating possibility of manipulating men into getting her pseudo needs met, a choice that led to the feeding of her own false self at the continued expense of her authenticity. After a decade of playing with this new possibility, she married the man that she could most successfully manipulate, who fell in love with her or in authentic, pleasing ways. This contributed to her demise as it further disconnected her from her own authenticity and pushed her into a state of imbalance that, if left unaddressed, gave little or no possibility of fixing. It also established her polarized response to survival, which was to swing between being overly controlling to overly submissive. Her control expressed itself in submerged manipulation, and her passivity expressed itself in her willingness to give away her power in major life decisions so that she agreed ultimately to a life that she didn't want. This agreement to be silenced in her expression of what she truly wanted and the disconnection of her own authenticity compounded her imbalance to the point of creating this physical imbalance. The imbalance had most likely existed on an emotional level from childhood and beyond into past lives. Fiona had expressed through our sessions that she often felt silenced. Either something would arise externally in her circumstances that convinced her it wasn't safe for her to talk freely, or something would rise up from within her that convinced her it wasn't safe for her to express herself and talk authentically about what she wanted. She really didn't feel like she even knew who she really was or what she really wanted. She had spent most of her life pleasing others and really ignoring her own voice until she arrived at the place where she didn't even know who she really was and what she really wanted or needed to be herself, to be happy. Talking to her subconscious revealed the following internal dialogue. The thing that isn't working in my life is my health, followed by silence. And the reason why is I really can't say. And the reason why is I'm not well. I'm not balanced. Silence. I'm not clear. I don't even know who I am or what I want. Crying. I invited Fiona to breathe into the spot that was most uncomfortable and put her hand on it. She slowly raised her hand to her throat. I instructed her to gently pant and bring all her awareness into this area so that she could fully feel it. Tears silently fell until there was no more discomfort, and there were no more tears. She felt immense relief, as if some great weight had been lifted. I asked her how she felt, and she said lighter, free somehow. I knew that we weren't finished yet and invited her to continue with the discovery process to find out what else was there. And then I asked her what she was afraid of. The thing I'm most afraid of is disappearing into nothing. And the reason I'll disappear into nothing is I'm really not showing up. And the reason I'm not showing up is I'm afraid of doing something wrong. So it's better not to show up at all. And the reason is so you're not to blame for messing things up. And the reason is don't want to be set up to fail, so I don't speak. And the reason is it's not safe to talk. It's not safe to show up, or you'll be blamed. Better to say nothing. In fully illuminating this in a dialogue, Fiona was able to see the amount of force she was using to push back her own expression of herself. Her spirit wanted her to push forth her authentic expression of the truth of herself, and her human self, her personality, the false self that was created to protect her in childhood, was now acting destructively. Could not, would not, and pushed back against her desire to express, thus creating a mass of energy in her throat. We had more sessions to build a deep connection to the voice of Fiona's authentic self, and she found that her real interest lay in illustrating children's books. She'd always been interested in art, but her mother felt that her work was not good enough to support her financially. She pushed back her own expression, her own truth on every level of her life, and it was going to take time to reconnect Fiona to herself, to her gifts, and to her ability to express herself. She really felt now that she knew her work and her path, and that was enough for her to get re-inspired about her future and her life. She ended her unethical relationship and decided it was time for her to be with herself for the first time and honor who she really is. She felt that when the time was right, the right man would come along. She continued to work with the fifth chakra toolkit, and her health continues to improve. As you rebalance this chakra, you naturally reclaim your motivation towards your creative expression. You can expect to feel inspired to create, to write, or draw, or sing, or whatever is in your heart. The ability to correctly express yourself will naturally be present as you find your voice and feel strong and capable of speaking up for yourself and advocating for your deeper needs. Let's begin with slow, gentle breaths through the nose and soft, easy exhales out of the mouth. Inhaling and reclaiming your energy from any place where it may have been distracted throughout the day, throughout the week. Inhaling through the crown of the head, descending through the central channel of the body, and arriving in the home of the belly. Placing your hands on either side of the navel. Exhaling and releasing anything that isn't yours. Anyone else's energy you release on the flow of the outward breath. Inhaling and reclaiming. Exhaling and releasing. Noticing the breath without changing the breath right now. Noticing how it feels in this body, in this moment. On the next inhale, we're going to expand the belly. Open the ribs, open the chest, and pause here for a moment. Then exhale, deflating the chest first, then the ribs, finally the belly, pulling the navel towards the spine. Inhaling, expanding the belly, opening the ribs, the chest, pausing here, then deflating the chest, the ribs, finally the belly, pulling the navel towards the spine. Continue with this breathing and notice how relaxed you feel in this body, in this moment. You have relaxed your body now, and you have emptied your mind. You have released and let go of all thoughts now, and you have opened up the access into your subconscious. And we will be releasing any and all information that your conscious mind is ready and willing and eager to see. And this is easy and effortless for you to do. And you are completely safe, completely supported as I guide you through your journey. And you will build a bridge that enables you to have easy and direct access to your subconscious. You now have a bridge that enables you to have easy and direct access to the information that resides in your fifth chakra, in the area of your throat and your neck. And now focus all of your awareness on this part of your body. And if you choose, you can gently place your hand over your throat as you become aware of a channel that runs through the center of your body and houses your chakras. And your fifth chakra is located at the throat area. As you visualize here a beautiful light blue wheel of light, moving like a fan in a clockwise direction. And this light allows all illusion, all wounds, and all misperceptions to be illuminated and brought up to conscious awareness now. As you focus on your breathing, and you allow your breath to gently move into a soft pant. As you allow any and all information that is stored in your fifth chakra to surface to your conscious mind, integrating, balancing, and healing any unfinished emotional experience, integrating that into your body and into your mind. Everything that you are now ready and willing to complete. Focusing on your breath, focusing on the soft, gentle pant now. Now, as you are breathing, invite your subconscious mind to release to your consciousness everything that you are now ready and able to see. Invite all fears, illusions, and misperceptions to come to the surface, seeing them as the misperceptions and illusions that they are. Any and all fears that may be related to your right to express your truth, any and all wounds from the past of this present life or past lifetimes are invited to be released to consciousness now. All fears that are related to your right to express your truth, whatever that may be. Any illusions and misperceptions around your ability to speak up in a way that is effective. Wounds around having your voice heard and your words valued and understood. All fears around your willingness to stand in the truth rise up to your consciousness now. Any and all attitudes, myths, or beliefs around your right to be heard and your right to speak up for yourself. As you raise questions for your subconscious now, so that all wounds can be brought to the surface. How honest is your communication now? Allowing whatever blockages to your communication, allow them to rise up to your consciousness. Are you available to the voice of your guidance? Is the voice of your guidance balanced and aligned with the brilliance of your intellect? Are your voices balanced with the truth of your heart? Are you attempting to control your life too strongly now? Would there be a benefit to surrendering your will to meet the will of the universe? Do you feel safe enough to be your true self? Is it safe for you to be authentically all of who you are? Do you know your own authentic nature? Do you have the courage to discover the truth of your essence? As you focus your awareness onto your breathing, allowing the pant to assist this movement of information from the body through the throat and the neck to rise up into your consciousness. And the fifth chakra is a very important area of the body, as this is where fear gets transformed into love. As you allow this area to be very supported by your soft, gentle breathing now, and stay present with the breath, fully feeling all of your physical sensations, bringing the breath to each of those sensations so that you can fully feel them now, allowing any and all information that is stored in your fifth chakra to surface to your conscious mind, integrating any unfinished emotional experience, integrating into your body and integrating into your mind everything that you are willing and ready to complete. And you do this by attending to your breath, panting gently now. And your information may come in the form of pictures or symbols, or it may come in the form of language. Whatever form it wants to take, allow it to come into your conscious awareness now. Simply trust that you now have access to whatever you are ready to be consciously aware of. Staying with the breath, panting, knowing that you are completely safe and you are completely supported right here and right now, breathing, feeling, staying connected to any and all physical sensations as they move through your body now. And all of the information that surfaces will be easily and effortlessly available to you to recall as you write in your journal when you are awake and out of this process. You have created the intention and the invitation for all fears, illusions, and misperceptions to be available to your conscious mind now. As you visualize that beautiful pale blue wheel of light circulating like a fan in a clockwise direction, and as it moves, it heals and it clears, removing all obstacles and all blockages now, allowing you to create space so that you can remember the truth of who you are as a spirit and as a soul. As you recall now a feeling in your body of clear, honest, and authentic communication, and remember how that feels. And recall that feeling in every cell of your body. And allow that feeling to re-energize all of your cells as you feel that pale blue light as it warms, as it heals, as it clears this area now. Allowing your breath to shift into a faster pant, breathing more quickly than before and more deeply. As you now engage the power of your imagination, as you see in your mind's eye an image that represents your ego, however that may appear to you. Allow this image to take whatever form it needs to. And the ego contains the part of you that exerts your will and makes things happen exactly the way you want it to. And the positive aspect of that allows you to manifest in the world, and you love and welcome this part of yourself. And the negative aspect of your will seduces you into forcing too strongly into the way that you want things to happen. As you now visualize this part of yourself and allow it to take whatever form it needs to. You may see it as a muscle or an organ, or it may show up in another form. Whatever form it wants to take, allow it to show up and reveal itself to you now. And now watch as this aspect of your ego grows smaller and smaller. Smaller and smaller until it fits into the palm of your hand. And watch as it fades, fades, fades. And you let it go. You now completely surrender this part of your ego. And you are free. You are completely free to allow the divine guidance and support of the universe to enter your consciousness now. As you are free to connect to the truth of your own essence now. As you now allow all of these truths to settle into your fifth chakra, to occupy the space that you have cleared. As you now surrender the truth of your will to the highest power of the universe, trusting the flow of life, allowing it to take you wherever you need to be. And you are free. You are free to compassionately express your authentic truth. It is safe for you to speak your truth. Your communication is easy. Words flow easily, and you represent yourself fully for all of who you are. As you choose to express only positive thoughts and ideas, and everyone you come into contact with benefits from your authentic communication. You express yourself freely and joyously. You speak up for yourself with ease as you now express the truth of your creativity. And as you have now balanced and aligned this chakra, You have created the foundation for you to cultivate new attitudes that lead to new behaviors of stepping up and speaking up for yourself, of speaking your truth and trusting that it is safe for you to express yourself fully with kindness, with compassion for whoever you are communicating with. You now fully recognize and understand how to be expressive. And you now fully appreciate the value and the importance of having clear and direct communication in all of your interactions and all of your relationships. This liberates you and all of those around you, as you are now able to connect more intimately, and your relationships can now be deeper and richer and more fulfilling, as voicing truth becomes an integral part of your daily life. You find that you are listened to more as an authoritative, authentic voice, as you are now free to speak in larger groups without self-consciousness, feeling safe and supported in expressing the truth of who you are, allowing your authenticity to be seen, feeling empowered inside that energy field so that you can be free. You are completely free to be all of who you are in the presence of others, both on a personal level and in small or large groups. And as you evolve and grow, this experience becomes more and more enjoyable to you. It is safe for you to express yourself publicly, allowing yourself to be fully seen, fully heard, becoming skilled at hearing what is said and also what is not said, as your communication skills expand on every level. And your verbal communication will be more inspirational, motivational, and words will flow easily as you effortlessly communicate the truth of who you are. As you have surrendered and let go of all wounds, all illusions, all misperceptions, and all masks now, liberating you to be fully authentic. You are free to be all of who you are by letting go of all masks and all illusions, lightening and enlightening you into entry into your higher chakras, into your higher self, perfectly balancing the truth of your heart with the brilliance of your intellect and the insights of your intuition, so that the bridge of the fifth chakra is strengthened and supported by your energetic liberation into the truth. And you find that you are able to exert your will in a balanced and appropriate way that supports you and all those around you, choosing to fully honor and respect yourself and everyone you come into contact with. As this chakra is now balanced and aligned, you find that you feel healthier and stronger. You feel solid and grounded in your truth and the expression of your truth. As you have created a bridge between the truth that descends from your intuition and your intellect and merges and marries with the authentic truth that arises from your heart. You are now in right relationship with your communication and your self-expression on every level and every form that takes. You are now completely liberated in this chakra, and you are free. You are free to express the truth of who you are. And as you express your truth, you purify your energy field so that you can ascend into the higher aspects of your consciousness. Your compassionate expression of your truth fortifies your immune system, bringing in the opportunity for all of your hormones to be perfectly balanced, perfectly aligned. And there are many health benefits that you now assist as you clear and balance this chakra. You help to regulate your thyroid gland, having balanced hormones and a strengthened immune system. And your commitment to your healing is reflected in all of your communications. The release of sound heals and prepares the body for entry into higher consciousness. The resonance of truth supports you into your attaining optimum health and entry into higher consciousness that vibrates and resonates on the level of love and peace. As you now allow the vibrations of the music to enter into your fifth chakra now, so that the music assists in healing and balancing this chakra now. And cultivating these attitudes is beneficial to you and all those around you. And you nurture these attitudes by listening to this CD and choosing only the thoughts that reflect the attitudes that you want to have. As you find yourself to be more able to be fully in the present moment, so that you can participate fully in life, showing up for all of who you are. As you now find yourself feeling more alive than ever, with all of your energy available to you, you find your life is richer and more exciting than before. In a moment, I will begin to count from 1 to 5. By the time I get to 5, you can decide if you want to continue to relax or if you want to wake up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.